Hey y'all, this is Payton Howie, and you're listening to Hank Jr. and Hank's Corner.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to my 80th episode of Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. I'm part of Hank Jr. Productions, where I'm documenting life's moments through photography, videography, and now podcasting. And I'm so happy to have this guest on. She was on my 35th episode. She is only the second repeat artist here on Hank's Corner. And who better to have a repeat than with Payton Howie? Payton, how are you doing tonight?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm wonderful. Thanks for coming back on the show. Definitely a huge fan of yours. And, we got a lot of followers that follow you from my aspect, and just definitely appreciate you coming back on.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I know it's been a while since I've actually got to see you in person, so this is really cool to get to chat with you again.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And you did say it has been a while, so it's been a little bit over a year. And we were looking forward to you coming to Tampa, and I know something happened, and so you weren't able to make it. But hopefully soon you'll be able to make it out to Florida, or I can get out there to Texas again.
For sure. Yeah, I know it was just crazy with everything going on down there with like all the kind of repair that was being done down there. So definitely gonna be down there very soon.
We'll definitely look forward to that. And yeah, we did have the hurricane come through, and where we are in Tampa, for the most part, we did really well. But the people further south than us, always keep them in your prayers, because they are still rebuilding, and all their lives have been changed. But speaking about locations, and I always want to know where artists are, because you're all over the place. Where are you actually calling in from tonight?
I'm in Houston.
Oh, so you're back home in Houston. So for how
Yeah.
long? Is that just for the night?
No. I'm here for a little bit. We got some shows coming up towards the end of the year. Guess these next few weeks in the holiday season, got some really cool shows coming up. And I'm currently making plans possibly to be traveling for some December shows that I haven't announced yet, but I'm really excited about. So I'm here for, at least the next few weeks.
Yeah, and that's awesome to hear that you're back in Houston and playing there in your hometown. And because I follow you, and you really are all over the place, because you go back to California, Tennessee, and you travel more, I think, than a lot of the other artists that I follow, just because I guess the nature of where you have connections.
Yeah, I love getting to work out in Nashville, do my recording and stuff out there, because there's so much just talent and whatnot, and just the team that I'm working with at the moment, they're all in Nashville, so that's where I do my work, and playing shows in Texas. There's nothing quite like it, and obviously like to go back and visit family and friends out in California.
Yeah, and given the chance, aside from those two states that or I guess three if you count Tennessee, is there any place that you're looking to play at in the near future that you just haven't been, and you want to get out there as soon as you can?
Honestly, I've had the opportunity to play some really cool venues this year. A lot of them are bucket list items, so it's been really cool. Gotten to play a lot of the, I guess, notable dance halls here in Texas. It's been really cool. Gotten to play a lot of really cool places out in Tennessee. I got to visit a lot of cool places as well. In California, I'm hoping to be back at one of my favorite venues, the Anaheim House of Blues, probably in December. I don't know. We haven't finalized it yet, but announcing the show soon, so I'm excited about that.
Okay, yeah, like I said, definitely all over the place, and that's good that you're getting those check marks on your bucket list. You're definitely young and being able to do that, so that's great. I'm getting closer to my retirement stage, and I'm definitely looking to do what you're doing and get out there to the different places that I haven't been yet. But since we last talked, I mean, you've had, it's just been crazy with you. I mean, you're out there getting a lot of notable attention, which is well deserved, because when I saw you about a year or so ago, you were starting to really kind of come out on the scene, and people were starting to notice you. But now I think people are really noticing you. And can you tell that difference, and how does it feel?
Honestly, it's just really humbling to get to meet people from all over the place, and receive messages from people all across the country, across the world even, that have heard my music and have connected with the stories that I'm telling in my songs, or even the music videos. It's really cool to get to hear people's stories and how they relate to what I'm saying. And not to mention, when we're traveling, getting to meet people out in different states that I've never been to before, and it's honestly really a humbling experience to know that you're able to touch people without having even ever met them in person. And it's all just because of music. And that's the goal.
Yeah, that's definitely an advantage that you have, and the reward that you get with that. But you're getting some airplay time as well, correct?
Yeah, doing pretty well. I've actually released my first radio single, Never Go Home, to radio, and it's done really well for being my first song on radio. It's been really cool charting on Texas regional radio. So excited about that for sure. The radio game is pretty new to me at the moment, but I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm happy that you're getting out there on radio, and I keep, trying to send stuff to our Tampa stations here, and sometimes it's just a hard cookie to crack. But I keep plugging your name out here, and maybe we'll get you out on Tampa radio. But not only that, you're talking about having Never Go Home, which is a great song. We're going to play that sometime here in the podcast, but you have a lot of other stuff that has recently come out. And Jail and Jesus is a recent one that came out. I really want to know the backstory to that because, like you said earlier, you got a lot of people that are making connections with your music and your storytelling. This one has a very personal aspect to me as well, but I want to hear the backstory from you on how you came about writing the song.
Yeah, so Jail and Jesus is a song that I co-wrote with my good friends Michael and Eric out in Nashville, Tennessee. And it's a real personal song because being my age, I'm only 20, but I've still seen and experienced some things in my life. And what I've come to the conclusion of is that, I believe people are good. I believe everybody's, doing their best at least to try and, lead a righteous life. And sometimes we get caught up in our nature, and we get caught up doing things that we can't go back and change. And sometimes that ends up being the legacy that we leave for the people we love. And so that's what Jail and Jesus is about, is, fighting with that devil on your back, but you still got that angel on your shoulder.
Yeah, and I like how you put it that it's kind of like everybody has that because there is a saying, not for the grace of God, and really any one of us can mess up at any time, and if it wasn't for the grace of God keeping us on a particular path, we're all able to fall. And and like you said, some people do, but that doesn't mean that they're beyond salvation. And so I like I said, I really have a personal reference to Jail and Jesus, and I'm glad that you put it out. I want to go ahead and play it here now, and when we come back, I want to talk specifically about the video.
His old calloused hands grabbed a hold of that man, drunk behind the wheel of that car. He drug him to the ground, the people gathered round. He didn't mean to take it that far. Granddad lost his wife, so that man lost his life. Between heaven and hell, caught between jail and Jesus. He found that demon in the bottle. Daddy drank his last swallow. Drunk, he hit mama again. Yeah, the neighbors called the cops, tried to fight, but he lost. Behind bars, till God only knows when. There's a price to be paid for the hands that he laid, making deals with the one that redeems us. As he lies in that cell between heaven and hell, caught between jail and Jesus.
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. here with my special guest, Payton Howie, and you just heard Jailin' Jesus. Now, I love the video for many reasons, and right back here, I got you from one of your concerts over in Freedom Jam, and right next to that is Rob Reiser, and Rob Reiser is one of the ones that stars in the video, along with Molly Lovette, two of my favorite artists that I love listening to. Tell me about the video, and also tell me who was actually filming it, because I want to hear all about it. I think it was such a great collaboration, and I was so excited to see when it came out.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It was a really fun video to shoot, honestly, because just honestly speaking, I'll be real with you. I am way more on the artist side than I am on the performer side. So when it comes to acting in music videos, I tend to be a little more, all right, gonna put on my game face, So, but the cool thing with the Jailin' Jesus music videos, it felt just so natural because I was being a storyteller. In the video, I'm just telling the story like it is. I'm just singing and I'm telling my story, playing my song, and that came really natural for me. So I enjoyed every minute of it, and it was really cool to have Rob and Molly be a part of the video. They are surprisingly not, they're not actors, but surprisingly, they were just amazing. They played their parts really well, and they were super great to work with. I love both of them so much. And the video was shot by Neon Leaf Media out in Nashville. They always do such a great job. They've also done work on the Country Before Me acoustic performance video, and that was just absolutely awesome to get to shoot with them as well. So, there was so many cool things with that video, especially because we shot it at the same venue where Morgan Wallen shot his cover photo for his Dangerous double album. And, I'm sitting there and my friend that was playing the drums in the video goes, "Does this wall look familiar to you?" And I'm like, maybe, I think so. And then I was in the changing room, changing for scenes. And I look on the wall and I see Morgan Wallen sign the wall. And I was like, I put two and two together and we're like, that's the same wall where he shot his cover photo where he's sitting there with his guitar in that little stool. And that was the same exact spot where we shot the band scene for Jailin' Jesus. So.
Okay. And so you had no idea going into it that was the same location.
Not one bit. No, I had no idea. I was, we were looking at a bunch of different venues to shoot at. And this one specifically, caught my eye and I was like, I love it. Let's shoot there. It just, was perfect. Had everything we needed. And then we got there and like halfway through the band scene, my drummer was like, does that look like? And I'm like, that's it. So we all, after the shoot, we all like sat there and like imitated the photo and took pictures. It was really fun.
Yeah, how cool is that? And like I said, I got a little bit of a bias that now, even though I love a lot of your songs, that video itself just kind of went to number one just because of the collaboration. Like I said, I got Rob up here and I think Molly's back here somewhere behind me. And it's just so great to have all you guys get together. But one of the other things I wanted to talk about was in that video, you have somebody that's wearing a veteran hat, military veteran. I know that you have a real soft spot for when it comes to veterans. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, truthfully, when we wrote the song, that wasn't the forethought. Like that wasn't like, oh, he's gonna be a veteran, That wasn't what happened right off the bat. When we wrote the song, we just wrote it pulling from some real life stories and talking about people that I connected that character to. And when it came time to shoot the video, we're talking about, all wardrobe and things like that. I thought that would be a really cool touch to add that the granddad, so to speak, in the video was a veteran, because I wanted to showcase that the characters in the video were not bad people. They were good people with good hearts and good intentions, but everybody gets caught up in things sometimes that don't define us, but they're hard to overcome in life. And we all make mistakes. We all screw up every now and then. And that's what I wanted to portray in the video, was that he was a good man. He had a good heart. He went out and served our country. And I wanted to portray that in the video, that he wasn't just this guy that did this thing. It's that I wanted people to see him as an individual that did something like that in the video. So that was kind of why that was there.
Yeah, we definitely love that you're, supporting our military, our veterans, and what's interesting about, him being the character as a veteran is that what we don't realize is that we never see what's behind the mask of a person, and if we don't know that person, we don't know what they've been through, and our veterans have been through a lot. A lot of times, I mean, I don't even ask when I talk to my brother. He's in the military about anything that he's seen or anything. If he wants to bring it up, he can bring it up, but they see a lot, they experience a lot, and then they have to come back home and deal with that. And that's a hard thing to deal with. And like you said, what happens after that, maybe it causes some issues, and maybe they get into trouble, but that wasn't the intention, and they fought for our country. And what happens is a lot of people, when they come back, don't see that and just kind of write them off. But people like you, and I'll even go ahead and talk about Brian Judy, because he's always promoting the Freedom Jam. Get him a little plug there. But people like you and them, it's just really great to remember our veterans, because like I said, we don't know what they went through. They went through a lot, and they need that support.
Truthfully, yeah, I agree. And that's definitely what the intention was behind the video, was to showcase the fact that, him being a veteran, of course, is shows that he has a good heart. He has a heart of service, and he has a desire to serve our country and fight for our freedoms.
Right. And, you have another song out called Freedom that we played on episode 35 here on Hank's Corner. And, that's just one of another thing that shows, your patriotism and your service back to the veterans. But you also have another song out called Keep Her Breathing. Tell us a little bit about that one.
Yeah, Keep Her Breathing is just the latest song that I've released. And it's, a real patriotic song. My great-grandfather fought in World War II. And I always say, I don't think that he was out there dodging bullets and taking time away from his family and sacrificing and fighting for our freedoms to have the freedoms and the liberties that our country was built on taken from us, And I know a lot of people stand in a lot of different places, but that's where I stand, and that's why I wrote that song, because when I say her in Keep Her Breathing, I'm talking about America. I'm talking about our country. I'm talking about the fact that it's going to take every single one of us to come together and defend those things that our country was built on, to keep her breathing.
Yeah, let's go ahead and play Keep Her Breathing here on Hank's Corner. When we come back, I'll touch a little more on it.
A lot of bloodshed just for the right to say it. Now he sees a heart being ripped to pieces. It's gonna take us all to keep it beating. I'm proud of our true American tradition. Patriotic to the core is how I'm living. They can't take your pride if you won't give it. same old story. Fighting to survive, not for glory. We bury fathers and mothers, sons and daughters. Just remember, your freedom is what it's all for. I'm proud of a true American tradition. Patriotic to the core is how I'm living. They can't take your pride if you don't give it. I fight to my last breath. I fight to my last breath to keep her breathing. To keep her breathing.
Welcome back to Hank's Corner. Once again, I'm Hank Jr., part of Hank Jr. Productions, where I'm documenting life's moments through photography, videography, and now podcasting. And once again, my guest tonight is Payton Howie, and you just heard her latest song, Keep Her Breathing. And what I wanted to kind of talk about without getting too deep, because obviously things like this can upset people, but we are going through a tough time in the country right now. It just seems that we are pretty divided. Did you have any intentions on bringing this out at this specific time because of that, or is it just the way that it kind of fell?
You know, honestly, I had the song, and I decided to put it out at the time that I did because I felt like it's what people needed to hear. You know, I think I wanted it to be a message for the older generation of patriots to know that there's a whole younger generation of patriots coming right up behind them. And you know, like I said, regardless of what whoever thinks what or what you believe or your opinions, there is always going to be a young group of people that are wanting to stand up for what they believe in and what they feel our country stands for. And I wanted to remind our older generation of patriots that, you know, it's not dying off, you know?
Yeah, and that's great that, you know, and I wondered if that was intentional that you put it out, or like I said, it just kind of happened to fall in the series. But because not since the 60s has America been this divided. And, you know, no matter what, you know, you said that people have different opinions. And here in America, the fact that we can voice those opinions and not get in trouble for that is something that should say in general how great America is, because there's a lot of other places out there in the world that if you do voice your opinion, and if it's not the popular opinion, then you know you end up in a place that could be very bad. But you know, that's wonderful that you brought it out. And speaking about timing, you know, here we are coming up on Thanksgiving and Christmas and that sort of thing. Tell me, what are some of your holiday traditions?
Yeah, holiday traditions. Well, I will be real with you. I don't know. What's the date today? November 13th, 12th,
Well,
14th?
it is the 14th that we're recording this episode. Yes, November 14th.
I've already started listening to Christmas music. I am ready to go.
So when do you actually start? Is it, you know, right after Halloween?
November 1, I was press and play. I'll tell you that much. I was ready to go. I love the holidays. I think it's, you know, I just love it. I love getting to do all the fun winter stuff and whatnot, you know, having a good time, getting the whole family, friends together, you know, celebrating. Like, I love all that kind of stuff. And I think it's, you know, it's always a happy time of the year. It's always, you know, joyful, and people are all coming together just to have a good time. I think it's great.
Yeah, definitely exciting time. You know, a lot of people love this time of year. And it's so great to hear that you say that, because it was about this time last year. And it was the first time that I talked to Paige King Johnson. She was my other repeat guest. And I told her, I said, hey, I'm already listening to, you know, one of your Christmas songs. And she laughed because, you know, even though it was her Christmas song, she doesn't believe in listening to the songs until it gets closer to the holidays. So I'm glad to hear that you're good with me. November 1st, let's start listening to them.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%. I was turning it on the Christmas music literally because I mean I get up, you know, remotely early, especially during the week, and so I was up like 6 in the morning. Let's go, November 1. I was ready.
Do you have any favorite holiday songs?
I don't have any specific favorites because I love like the classics and I love some of the remakes that have been done. I would say one of my favorite, more new kind of songs that I heard as of recent this year was Ian Munsick's version of "You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch," and he just kind of
Mm.
makes it this whole like grungy kind of country thing, and it was it's so good, so good. I love
Okay.
that.
I have not heard that yet, so now I'm going to have to go out there and pull it
Oh,
up and listen to it. And one of the songs that you had put out, for Christmas time was "Mary Did You Know." Tell me, why did you pick that song as one of the ones that you wanted to put out?
I just really liked the vibe. I think of all the songs, of all of the Christmas songs, especially the more traditional ones that a lot of people cover, that one to me has always been like a really interesting perspective because everyone's talking about the birth of Christ and talking about Santa or whatever. Like, and there's the in between, but it's a really interesting perspective to talk to Mary and just be like talking about who Jesus was going to grow up to be and what he came here to do essentially, and the meaning of Christmas. But to hear it just kind of from a mother's perspective, it's interesting, and being I have a close relationship with my mom, and so I always have viewed that song to be somewhat special and kind of stand out to me.
All right. And, to me, that's probably the most thought provoking holiday song that's out there. And, I never realized it as a kid until I got older. But let's go ahead and play "Mary Did You Know" here on Hank's Corner.
Mary, did you know that your baby boy would one day walk on water? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would save our sons and daughters? Did you know that your baby boy has come to make you new? This child that you delivered will soon deliver you. Mary, did you know that your baby boy would give sight to a blind man? Mary, did you know that your baby boy would calm the storm with his hand? Did you know that your baby boy has walked where angels trod? And when you kiss your little baby, you kiss the face of God. Oh, Mary, did you know? Oh, Mary, did you know? The blind will see, the deaf will hear, the dead will live again. The lame will leap, the dumb will speak, the praises of the Lamb. Mary, did you know that your baby boy is Lord of all creation? Mary, did you know that your baby boy will one day rule the nations? Did you know that your baby boy is heaven's perfect lamb? The sleeping child you're holding is the great I am. Oh, Mary, did you know?
welcome back once again to Hank's Corner. I got special guest Payton Howie here. I'm Hank Jr. as always, and you just heard Mary Did You Know, as we are getting close to the holiday season. And I can't talk about the holidays. Well, I can't have any podcast nowadays without talking about food. What are some of your favorite foods for the holidays?
For the holidays, I will say whenever it's like Thanksgiving or whatever, Christmas, stuffing is the go-to. Stuffing is
Mm.
the best food on the holiday table, and I will fight till the death about that.
Yeah, definitely love some stuffing, and to me though, it's everything. So I do the turkey and I do the stuffing. You can give me all kinds of sides, and then when it comes to dessert, what is your dessert?
I mean, I'm good with anything. Like I love all kinds of pie. Like I think pumpkin pie is great, apple, whatever, but I will tell you I make a mean Oreo pie.
Oh, okay. Mean Oreo pie. I definitely got to try that one out. And I want to back up a little bit and talk about a holiday that just passed. Halloween just came, and of course there was a lot of people that came out with the spirit, Halloween little pictures there, and yours, and we'll post it here on the screen. And it says that yours includes snakeskin boots, a longhorn ring, red flags, American flag. My favorite, the F-150, a Smith & Wesson 9mm, and the Rip Jean Attitude, which is how I introduced you last time. But I also found that funny was that it's not included as the hot, loyal boyfriend. Why is that? Is that because you have trouble with the boyfriends, or you just, just thought that would be a funny thing to do?
Well, it's a little bit of both. I'll be real. But yeah, I've always thought it was kind of funny. I remember seeing, because that meme kind of circulated the internet for like a week or two before I decided, all right, now I have to do mine, right? And I saw a bunch of funny things, and one of my friends, who's also a musician, did not included backup career, and I thought that was hilarious. I was like, what could I say that would kind of fit in line with, just my personality, or even like some of my music. And I will admit, I got a lot of feisty songs out there, so I figured that would make people laugh a little bit. Plus, it's true, they're few and far between.
Yeah, I definitely loved yours, and I thought that was hilarious, and good job on coming out that. And now I want to get a little personal here, and hopefully you answer, because when I talked to Liam Coleman, he chickened out. I said, "Hey, tell me, some things about Payton that she may not want to tell me here on the podcast, some backstories." And all he could say was, "Nope, perfect. She's awesome. She's she's a rocker," and that's all she can. But I don't want you to give me that answer. Give me some dirt on Liam that I can use against him next time I see him.
Man, well, okay, and I'm not chickening out. I'm gotta think, because I'm gonna think about it. But Liam's a great guy. Like, he's honestly one of the funniest people I know, and it's just he's such a goof, because anytime I'm around him, it'll be like 3-4 in the morning, and he's up just like writing music, singing on the top of his lungs. He's not a morning person, though. I will tell you that much. He is not a morning person, and I remember one time, because we were watching the baseball game, right? And I feel like he's a huge like Red Sox fan, right? And so we're watching the baseball game, the Red Sox lost, and he absolutely lost his mind. And I did not think, because I'm like, okay, I'm a sports fan too, right? I'm like, okay, I'm not going to get heated about it, whatever. He absolutely lost his mind and was running all around the room, up and down the stairs, everything. I've never seen someone get so heated about that game. So there you go. You can bring that
All
up.
right.
He'll still be mad about it, because I recorded the whole thing. I posted on my Instagram.
Oh, nice. I'll have to go look that up, and we could possibly, put it here on the show. But that's awesome. But no, Liam's a great guy, and I got to see him when I was back out there in Nashville for the first time playing, and I just love his voice, and I the only thing I gave him a little trouble about is the earlier covers that he had out there with his short hair, clean cut, and now he's the long haired rockin' type, and but you mentioned the baseball. And last podcast we talked a little bit about softball, because that's what you played. Do you ever get back and do any, like, maybe let's just say like singer charity games, softball or anything? Do you ever get back to play that?
No, honestly, ever since my last college game, I have not even opened my gear bag. I have not touched it. I miss it a lot, but it's definitely not something that I've unpacked yet. No pun intended.
Okay, well, maybe that'll be something that maybe you can kind of put together, and I'd love to see, an artist charitable softball game. I definitely would want to be there. I've started playing softball again, but it's the slow pitch, not like yours. So if I ever get out there, it may have to be just umping, so I don't embarrass myself and
That'd be
do that.
fun. That would be such a blast.
Yeah. Well, Peyton, I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, we're going to make sure that we get Never Go Home at the end of this podcast because it's such a great song. But
Thank
I do appreciate that you came on the podcast again, and I wish you the best for the remainder of the year, and hopefully next year you're just going to keep out coming even harder and faster than you have been because it's just a matter of time, and I'm telling everybody that you're going to be blowing up. So thank you for coming on my podcast, and hopefully when you do blow up sometime next year or whatever, that you still remember to come back onto the podcast.
Of course. Thanks so much for your time and thanks for talking. It's always a good time talking with you.